Hi everyone, it's Dr. Marco. Welcome to the health tip this week. So as I was mentioning last time, we're going to be talking about the importance of the curve in the bones of the neck. So when the person's looking that way, we want this nice forward curve of the bones. But unfortunately, the majority of society has this happening in their neck. So as I mentioned, that forward head is causing strain on the lower neck, and it's causing arthritic changes here. It's causing tractioning in all the nerves through the whole spine. It can even cause a lot of low back pain because the head's going forward. It's causing a lot of lack of motion up here, stress into the brain. Because our texting and all our activities, we're putting ourselves forward all the time, and subluxations either from the birth process or during our life can cause these things to start to get bad. So we really need to kind of do some stuff. So obviously doing the care that we do, we're trying to release tension from the spinal cord and this spine so that there's less tension in here. And then we also need to do some activities to kind of recreate the thing that created the curve in the first place. So when babies are in the womb, it's just basically a big C, and then as they come out, they're lying on their stomach. So a lot of people think just because the child is raising its head is the thing that's creating the curve in the neck. But a lot of it is that when the kids, we put them down, their head is either turned one way or the other. And when they need to look up, when they're starting to push up, they're actually turning their head side to side like this as well, which is stimulating a part of the brain called the vestibular system, which kind of orients us in space and that kind of thing. So it's that sort of side-to-side turning as well, kind of going over the shoulders, what's kind of helping to create that curve. So we actually have an exercise, which we call the over-the-shoulder exercise, which is going to sort of simulate that. So if we're kind of zooming in on here, these are the joints right here. There's a joint here, and a joint here, and a joint here. So one bone on top of the other, there's a little joint there. So if I turn this head, you kind of see it's kind of going like on a 45-degree angle sort of this way. So with proper sort of physiological turning of this, these joints are kind of going over a 45-degree angle. So we're going to kind of recreate that in our exercise. I have this sheet of paper here, which I'll be giving to some of our patients and stuff, which is we're just going to focus on the over-the-shoulder exercise. And we have some other ones that are good for general maintaining mobility and everything else and activating specific muscles. I've already talked about this one, doing the overheads for lateral movements. But we're going to be talking about this one now, we call the over-the-shoulder. This helps a couple of different things. There's a sort of important thing having your eyes focus and tracking the target with a specific distance, which helps brain development too. So you're going to have your hand in front of your thumb up. So I'm going to use my right thumb and right hand to rehabilitate the right side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this hand up at about 45 degrees, and I'm going to follow it with my head like this. And come back again. So it's kind of like I'm going up at 45 degrees. I'm kind of look at the upper corner of the room, sort of thing, of the corners in the upper part of the room. So you're kind of going at a 45-degree angle, and you can see my head's kind of going at this sort of rotating with turning back as well. And you want to do it slow at your own pace, and kind of go as far as you can that's comfortable for you, like that. So for this side, I would just be going this way. Yeah, and coming back. So what you should do it, frequency is kind of important, so you don't need to do like a massive number of repetitions. You're going to be like 4 one way and 4 the other way. We just do that like almost every hour, or as often as you can think about it during the day. So you got like lots of sets in during the course of the day. We're just doing 4 or 5. And what I would like you to do sometimes, mix it up a little bit. Maybe just go 1 time here, and then maybe go 3 over here like this. Not at that speed, at normal speed. We're just doing 3 times, and then maybe 2 over here, 1 over here, another 2 over here, just to kind of mix it up and change the input to the nerve system to keep it variable as well, because that can be helpful as well. There's a primitive reflex that we have as little babies called the asymmetrical tonic neck reflex. So when the head turns this way, the arm comes out, the leg comes out. If people have that retained into adulthood, that can make them clumsy when they're doing sports, trying to catch a ball, even looking up at the board or looking up at the teacher. It can cause like handwriting problems because they have a tendency to open up their hand when they're looking, turning this way, and they'll end up gripping the pencil hard and writing hard, and the handwriting can be a mess. Coordination can be a problem. If athletes still have this, they'll have a tendency for this to raise up, and they're going to try to force it down. It takes a lot of effort to kind of concentrate. They can tell great stories, but they can't write the story down very well, that kind of thing. So this having the ability to focus on a distance and follow it over a thing is actually good to help maybe even retrain people who might have that as adults. So this might help them actually get better focus and coordination and have their body doing less spontaneous movements that they're consciously trying to suppress when they're having exercises or doing sports and that kind of thing. So that's your exercise. It's the over-the-shoulder movement. So you're going to be doing this with your hand for quite a while, but after you've kind of done this for a good stretch of time, and we've had this kind of reestablished, you don't necessarily need to follow your thumb anymore. You could probably just do it like this as well, just on your own like that. And sometimes people also that have sort of dizziness issues and things like that, if you're tracking this, you might get those issues come up a little bit, so just do it really, really slowly. But if you do this properly, you might actually be able to rehabilitate that they get less of those dizziness issues and then balance problems as well. So it can help for that as well. So if there's any questions, just let us know. Hopefully this health tip was helpful, and please share it, and we'll see you next week. Bye.